So down at Arbory Parish Hall with Cabinet Office Minister Lord-Brennan and Douglas South MHK Sarah Maltby. Actually, I didn't say Douglas East, which is good.
Well done, you're learning.
Just about. We'll be a year in. But we're down here because it's got Warm Space Initiative, and obviously this is one which has been set up in the south of the island. Just sort of tell us where did the idea come from to begin with?
Well, through the consideration of the government's response to cost of living issues, something that was recognised was that there was a need to sort of support at a community level on a sort of softer side in a way to help, in some ways, provide that sort of safety net. Financial measures were brought forward, but then from the Cabinet Office perspective, we were looking at what else could be done. Some of that related to putting all the information to do with assistance in one place. So that's with the Isle of Man Help for Households website, and there's promotion around that, and as well as a dedicated phone line. But another aspect that's really taken off was the decision to create a Community Warm Spaces Fund, which Tim would approve and Treasury funded, and that has allowed through the Manx Lottery Trust organisations, local authorities and community groups to put in applications to provide warm spaces and activities directly in the community. And this is an example, a very good example, I think, through the southern or local authorities that we're seeing today, and it's one of many across the island. So we're just here to have a look at what's going on and to see how it's appreciated by the community.
And we've met a couple of you, well, we've got one of your colleagues about somewhere who we've met, and they've been sort of the guys behind the scenes, the ones who don't get sort of seam and all this goes together. What is the team that's been doing? What exactly, how have they put all this together?
Well, it seems to me that the approach that's been taken in the south has been one that's been about collaborating through local authorities and community groups to look at a region and see what is in the community already and what can be supported, enhanced. And so that coordination has happened at a local level, and then elements of it have gone forward for application to the Manx Lottery Trust, who've been able to make a decision on funding. I'm looking to Sarah because Sarah sits on the Manx Lottery Trust board, so government has funded it. Manx Lottery Trust do the checking, the administration of it, but the community delivers it, and probably it is really only the community that can deliver this sort of events and support and signposting to other help.
From the Manx Lottery Trust's point of view, what have you guys been involved in? How has this worked?
The Manx Lottery Trust has actually been established for quite a number of years now, so they've helped and supported lots of different community organisations and charities for a number of years in the different funds that they have. So when the Cabinet Office approached Manx Lottery Trust and said we'd like to add an additional fund to your portfolio, would you be interested? The trustees, had to consider whether we were to manage it, because we already provide a really professional service to the community. We didn't want to detract from the business that we normally do, but actually this was so important. It gave an opportunity, like Minister said, to enhance what the community is already delivering and actually provide even more support to people. I mean, they are the experts at the end of the day. This is about helping develop these grassroots organisations and charities to provide something that, with all the will in the world, government couldn't do, and they are doing it successfully, and actually with a little bit of support and help, this initiative has actually been really successful.
And you've seen it in action in a couple of places and down here today. How do you think it's working?
Really well. It was. I wouldn't say it was a risk, but it was definitely a consideration. Every single pound of taxpayers' money is carefully considered for everything that we do within government anyway. But this was something that we felt was a very worthy a decision to make, and actually because it has to go through a robust application process, this isn't about just handing out money hand over fist. It really is considered. It's looked at the merits, how many people is this going to support, what's the outcome's going to be, and actually you can see it for yourself. This really is working, and I really hope actually that this does something to build on throughout the year. So if these community come together, the local authorities down the south actually really displaying great partnerships between each other and developing a lovely programme of events. So now it'd be nice if we can sort of see how that develops over the year and encourages more people from around the area to come in and support what they have on their doorstep.
Just in terms of, from the Commission side of view, how has this all been put together?
We had the vague idea way back in August, so we discussed it in our August board meeting as a concept, not really knowing what else was taking place. And then throughout September, we started to hear what other people were doing, and we thought, great, this is a goer. So a little concept became reality, and then it was just a case of working out the logistics, how we would do it, how we would tie in with other areas. And for us, because we've got this fantastic facility here, we wanted to use this space.
And you're obviously seeing a good number of young families in here, and kids after school, it's ideal for them to get to come in and play somewhere warm. Is that sort of what you're seeing as week to week usually? Or?
Yes, we're on our 4th week now, and the early afternoon sessions have been really quiet because it hasn't really been that cold, so we're hoping that'll pick up. But after school it started with just a small group, and it's grown week by week. So we have contacted the school as well as parents directly, and Facebook, the usual sort of stuff. So yes, it's building very nicely.
Can't see this, but in the background occasionally you see one of the kids just go pirouetting across the background.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Like, she'd say me last time I was there going, the hell, so just from that angle, we've been doing, we've got hot dogs and toasts on the go today, and is that sort of thing that's happening every week as well?
Yes, yes. So we applied to the government Warm Spaces Fund, and what we factored in was the heating of the space. Obviously we don't have to rent it, and to provide free food. So that was always part of the plan, to make it attractive for people to come. So in the afternoon it's just cakes and biscuits, and then for the children something a bit more substantial. You know, they're hungry after they come after school.
And I suppose in terms of the funding, how has that worked for yourselves? Is that working at the right level? Do you think it's about right for what you needed? Yeah?
Yes. I mean, when we pitched for things, we just factored in all that we needed. And as I say, we're lucky we don't have rental hire, because I think for some places that would actually be a cost that would be something that would be on their reach. So we're also going to have entertainment nights once a month, which is an evening event. We are aware that there are a lot of different things happening, but there's not an awful lot during the evenings. So we decided we couldn't warrant doing it every evening, but just once a week would work.
So
once a month.
What sort of stuff you got coming up?
So we've got on the 29th, Nativity, the film night.
The one in the school?
Absolutely. So yeah, we're encouraging people to, so it's a free entry, but we are saying contact us or contact me to book a ticket.